So yesterday, Nathan Zegura on Cleveland Browns Daily said that he believes that Tommy Rees is the perfect offensive coordinator, and in his words, I'm using his words, to shepherd a young quarterback into the NFL.
Now, let me make it clear, no offense to Nathan Zegura, but he does work for the Browns. And if he thought Tommy Rees was a bad hire, he would not say it on Cleveland Browns Daily. We got to keep it real.
Yeah, I'm just saying
Nathan actually he speaks his mind.
He does speak his mind. I don't
think
he would go out of his way to say that it was a bad hire. I think he could be a little down the middle with it.
Yes, See, I tell you what, after this past season, Nathan, I told you, I'll be listening. I'll be like, Nathan be going crazy sometimes.
Yeah. At who?
He speak his mind
about Watson.
No, he spoke his mind about the team.
Well, regardless of what he will and won't say.
Good.
No, it's different this year.
Okay, we did the whole topic, right hire, wrong hire of Tommy Rees yesterday. But with Zegura saying that, we've talked about at length, and we'll do Dane Brugler's mock draft in the next topic.
Yeah.
What the Browns should do with the number 2 pick. But hearing Zegura, who works for the Browns, say he believes Tommy Rees is the perfect guy to help shepherd a young quarterback to the NFL. Does that give you any indication or solidify your thoughts that the Browns will almost certainly go quarterback at number 2?
No, definitely not.
I tell you what, the hiring of him makes me think for sure that it's more likely they will take a quarterback at number 2. I'm not going to say that to me is the final answer because I can see a different worlds where they might not. First of all, the draft process, they haven't met with these guys.
Yeah, they haven't made the decision yet. So
I don't know. Like you could go into it with a thought like, we like Shedeur Sanders, but then you'll see him, meet him, and watch him at the combine and be like, that dude's not that good, or he's not that smart on the board. So you could easily change your opinion. I think right now there is open-minded of all of the positions they can go to. But what it tells me is they 100% will draft a quarterback at some point in this draft. And I know a lot of people saying, Tommy Rees got the job. That means that Jalen Milroe will be the guy because he worked with Jalen Milroe at Alabama. And I'm like, I'm not 100% certain that that's the case. No. If anything, Tommy Rees would be like, he's
like, I know him. Let's get somebody else. That's what Tyvus is saying right there.
But I do think that I think it's perfect. The hire is perfect for what Kevin is trying to do because you got Kevin who was supposed to be this quarterback whisperer, but like I told y'all, for the past couple of years, his message just doesn't resonate exactly to what these quarterbacks are supposed to do. This is a guy that says, I can't stand turnovers, yet every quarterback he has turns the ball over. So it's something in the message and the communication that's not getting through to these quarterbacks. To where Tommy Rees is a younger guy, played quarterback in college. I think he played in the league, didn't he? Didn't Tommy Rees play in the league? He was with Northern.
He did. It was a cup of coffee.
Yeah, but anyways, this is a guy that played the actual position. So when you hear from a guy that played the position, it resonates differently. And I think maybe his communication skills could be a little bit better because he can understand what Kevin is trying to say. Now he can take it and communicate it to the quarterbacks in a way that they fully understand what it is. And on top of that, I think he's a good job. He does a good job of developing. And while he's doing that, he ain't got to worry about calling the plays.
He was undrafted out of Notre Dame in 2014, was with Washington off-season and or practice squad member, not sure in 2014, and that was it.
Didn't have a stat.
No,
really. But it doesn't matter. I mean, the guy, you can be it doesn't matter. You don't even have to play quarterback. But the fact that he has played quarterback at a high level is important. He's been at Alabama. He's been at Notre Dame. Like, he was in the league for before that. I think he was like with the Chargers for like a year.
He was, yeah.
But no, I mean, this is exciting. To me, does it mean they're going to draft a quarterback at 2? Not because of Tommy Rees. They're going to draft a quarterback at 2 because they need a quarterback and they've got a high pick. And you may love it, you may hate it, but I guarantee you they're going to take a quarterback at number 2.
You're certain?
I'm certain.
What if they think both guys suck?
Then maybe they don't take one of those 2.
Ooh, shot.
No, if they feel like both guys stink, then they could, and they fall in love with, Dart, and he's there in the second round.
Yeah.
I mean, or you trade back.
Listen, in most cases, when you need a quarterback and you're picking 2, and there seems to be 2 quarterbacks near the top of the board, the quarterback is drafted whether they should be drafted there or not.
I mean,
I understand what you're saying.
Michael Penix did it last year. The Falcons was like, everybody like, what the heck are you doing?
Well, Well, but they had at the time.
That's because if they fall in love
and
with a guy,
he looked good
they
when
take
he got a
him.
chance at the end of the year.
They're gonna fall in love with a guy and they're gonna take him. Like that's just what it is.
Yeah,
I don't think
I
it
can
is.
see him taking Cam Ward.
Yeah,
I could see him taking Cam Ward.
They're gonna fall in love with one of them.
the thing
They will
is,
talk themselves into it. Man.
I think Shedeur is right. I think this is a really smart hire. He seems well respected across the league, Tommy Rees. He's well respected as a young up and coming coach. Oh my God, Nick Saban.
Yeah. We actually have the soundbite.
Yeah, from Nick Saban.
We do. Yeah, of course.
Let's play that.
Yeah, Saban on Reese. This is from 2023.
By the way, real quick before you play that, doesn't Tommy Rees if Kevin Stefanski and Andy Roth had a kid? You're funny. No?
You're funny.
This is Nick Saban
No, we're not
from
buying it.
2022 talking about Tommy Rees.
Yeah.
He's mature. He does a great job presenting to the players. He has good relationships with the players. He's very bright. He understands the game. He's a very good quarterback coach in terms of helping guys improve at that position, which I think is critical. We don't have any issues. He's very respectful of what we want to do and how we want to do it. And the guy's hungry, wants to learn. I think he's one of the brightest young coaches that I've been around for a long time.
Wow. Now, I'll admit I was a little distracted by his face there. That was like purple. I don't know what was happening with Nick Saban's face there.
It's weird. That's from SEC Media Days, and they have the electronic background behind, and it's front lit. People always look weird in front of that.
But what he said there
was awesome. I mean, especially the last quote. About one of the brightest young coaches he's been around in quite some time.
Yeah.
Like that says a lot from Saban, and he's been around. Saban's around a lot of really good coaches, young and old, by the way.
And can be hard on coaches.
I just wonder how much of an input is he gonna have. Not at the quarterback position. I think he'll probably be the quarterback's coach easily. But how much in like game planning? Like, is those new fresh ideas that he's gonna have? Is Kevin gonna be like, yeah, let's run that? Like,
I think that Kevin and Tommy Rees like each other, and more importantly, Kevin likes Tommy.
Yeah.
And I don't think Kevin liked Ken.
No.
And so that is obviously why Ken's not here anymore, and why Kevin is, and why Kevin decided not to leave the organization when he could have easily a while ago. You know, he could have just quit on this thing, and he didn't. So now he's got his guy to be the OC. They'll work together, I'm sure, and Kevin will call the plays.
I agree.
And I think Kevin's a really good coach. He's a smart offensive mind, and this is like the hope that it can turn back around.
Yeah.
You know, the Van Pelt thing. And obviously that's well documented, but that whole situation screwed up the organization. When that offensive, whatever you want to call it, changed, and they brought in Ken Dorsey, it was
they wanted to be
a very divisive decision.
No doubt.
They wanted to be explosive in the passing game. Which you got some. You got
2 weeks, 3 weeks.
Yes,
I mean I think
you don't want to marry a stripper, man.
Between she told me she likes me.
My point in saying that is like, you don't got to marry the hottest girl in the room. Like, you don't have to look sexy. We got to win football games.
Right.
We can win football games in 12 personnel and play action pass, and like you can at times be up and down the field, whatever. But like, we're not going to be a Big 12 team like RG3 had at Baylor. Like, that's not what the Browns are going to be offensively. That's not what they're built to do. So they got to get back to what they did a couple years ago.
So take Tyler Warren at 2.
I love Tyler Warren.
At 2?
I don't think the Browns would do that.
No, they would not. When Kevin would trade back up to get you.
Tyler Warren could probably play quarterback.
I think if the Browns, most likely, and we'll save this more for a little bit, I think if they don't draft a quarterback at 2, they probably trade down. But, we'll see. But in terms of his relationship with Tommy Rees, I mean, I think we all, have heard enough behind the scenes between Jason's article and other things we've all heard.
Yeah.
That Ken Dorsey was probably forced on Kevin, that Kevin did not want to fire Alex Van Pelt. It is what it is. We've moved on. It does feel like, based on Kevin's comments in that press conference, and I think a lot of us have the feeling that now Kevin has finally pushed back and basically said, hey, we're doing it my way. I got a guaranteed contract. If you're going to fire me, you're going to fire me. I'm going to go down my way.
Last year was the perfect example. He said, you know what? I'm telling you, Kevin was like, you know what? Y'all want all this change. Y'all want to be this is what we're going to do. Go ahead. Hire them all. Do whatever you want.
I kind of feel like.
And that's what I'm going to do. All right, Ken. Go ahead. Run them explode. Go ahead and show them this offense. I'm going to sit back just like this. And y'all seen how bad it looked. And then it's like, all right, you ready for me to take it back over? You gonna get out the way now? Can I run it my way finally?
Yeah.
My
And
way
I don't love
wasn't
that
so bad.
if that's the case.
But that's what sometimes that's what you got to do.
I think you're dead on with that.
Sometimes you got to go ahead.
happen.
I'm sick of y'all questioning me, talking about all these fans talking about, oh, he might need to give up the play calling. Okay.
Well, I don't think it's about the fans. I think it's about
everybody, because they wanted
the head
to
of the organization.
They figured we got this new toy at quarterback. We didn't bring in Deshaun to be handing the ball off to Nick Chubb for 8-yard games. That's not what we want to do. We brought Deshaun in and traded for Judy so we could see this explosive pass because we want to be like the Kansas City Chiefs.
Yeah.
We want to be like the Buffalo Bills,
By the
where
way,
it's explosive in the passing game.
But the Chiefs and Bills weren't as explosive this year as they've been in the past. There was more about
the run
moving
game.
the run game and moving the ball down the field more methodically this year. Both of those teams, Kevin Stefanski made some mistakes too. He's not getting a pass.
Not at all.
He did not.
But he
the
did what he
situation that Jason talked about with the way he coached Watson. That was and all
he
this.
shouldn't have did that.
But now it's on him.
Yes.
Now it's on him, and he's doing it his way. And I agree with Dustin. I think he and Tommy Rees must have a good relationship. I think they're absolutely going to work together. This idea from some fans that when the offensive coordinator does not call the plays, that he's basically sitting there with his finger up his ass doing nothing. That's ridiculous.
They do a lot.
Yes, of course. And Tommy Rees will be absolutely a big part of the game plan during the week and the install.
Well, one of the main things that I think Tommy Rees would do a better job with, again, it goes back to communication. We talked about Ken Dorsey, what he couldn't do, how he wasn't – I think Aditi might have said it. He wasn't good at getting up and presenting the offense and, running meetings and things like that. Well, Tommy Rees did it in college. Tommy Rees has done it already. He's already sat back. He knows how to communicate these things. And I think that was a big thing to why the offense looked the way it did. If your offensive coordinator can't get up there and present to the entire offense exactly what you want done, if that's not his setting, then how do you expect that offense to be good? How do you expect everybody to be on the same page?
Which is shocking because Ken Dorsey played quarterback too.
That's what I'm saying. Like, it doesn't make sense to me. So to me, I hate the fact that you hired somebody that is incapable of doing those things because now as a head coach, now I can't go focus on other things. Now I got to run the meetings. Now I got to look over your shoulder to make sure you're doing that. Right. And if you're doing that, that's a disconnect. Like, you shouldn't even be there. That's why I felt the same way about Andy Dickerson. Like, if you got your assistant offensive lineman running the meetings on Hard Knocks, and then you got Mike Vrabel working with the guys on the field, what are you doing?
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
what's the point of us having you here? Now we got other guys that can't go. See, like Vrabel was working with the tight ends at the beginning. Now Vrabel can't work with the tight ends because he got to work with the offensive line because you won't work with the offensive line. So now the tight ends aren't getting the production that we want them to have. Like, it's a domino effect. It's a domino effect. That's why I say it's so important for the people that you have on your staff. You have to be able to trust them to get things done. If you have to go stand in that room and look over their shoulder, now there's things that you aren't getting done to make us better on game day. So to me, I felt like if you got weak links in your staff, you got to get rid of them, and you got to get guys in there that you could trust that's going to get the job done. And that's what it seems like they're doing.
Yeah, well said.
Well said.
It's a great point.
And the Browns will probably be more on the same page this year as they were in the past, and hopefully that'll work. And who knows? Maybe Kevin Stefanski will say to Tommy Rees, hey, listen, I'm going to call the plays this year, but eventually I want you to call the plays here. Because maybe Kevin Stefanski, through all the terrible games at the end of the year, maybe there was a part of him that said, if I had the right offensive coordinator, it might be better if I were the overseer. Well, maybe. I don't know. I'm just saying
they gotta
it's
fix
possible.
They got to fix that run game. That's the number one thing.
Well, they got to start with getting a running back.
Yeah.
They got to
it
get
won't
a legit
it won't be
back.
at number 2. So
No.